And so it says some of the potential weaknesses here. So during the past 2 centuries, the classical approach has come under increasing fire, both from outside the church and from within, as the near consensus of Christian worldview has been eroded and broken down by the onslaught of secularism and humanism in the West. Many Christians have concluded that the classical approach has some significant problems, or at least limitations.
Right. And so the first thing they want us to do is to see that there are some common criticisms of this approach that are based on clear and outright misunderstanding. So these are false criticisms of the approach that they want us to see first. These are criticisms that they suggest don't even work, right? So classical apologists, for instance, do not claim that one must believe in God or in Christ on the basis of rational arguments to be justified in believing or to have a proper faith. What they maintain is that for such belief to be rational, there must be somewhere a rational ground of that belief in truth, even if the believer may not be aware of that grounding or be able to articulate it, right? Mm-hmm. So notice the idea here is that you don't have to believe or, in God or in Christ on the basis of rational arguments, right? There are believers that believe that don't know any arguments or don't know any good arguments, but that doesn't mean that they can't have belief in Christ, right? And so the claim that classicalists say you have to believe based on rational arguments is a misnomer. It misses what they're attempting to say, right? It's a misunderstanding of the approach.
Yeah. Plantinga's warrant of Christian belief is one, and that even Craig holds highly in regard as far as here. And again, Craig talks about the knowing and the showing difference as being a Christian, is that you can know that you're a Christian, but to show you're a Christian, he would point to rationality as being the prime mover of people. Well, likewise, classical apologetics does not substitute reason for faith. We're just automatons of reason. We write down our premise 1, premise 2, then a conclusion, and whatever happens in there, that's the only wiggle room for faith is moving to your conclusion. Well, classical apologists regard some of the belief as essential to sound faith to be demonstrated by reason, but faith itself includes beliefs that cannot be demonstrated. And again, what is the main definition of faith? It's trust, and to when we do our terrible trust falls that you don't trust people at your job site, but you still have to do it because HR is telling you to. You're trusting the people behind you to have your back, and so that's what the purpose allegedly of that demonstration is for. And so when Jesus says, "I'm the way, the truth, and life, no man can come to the Father except through me," well, the trust is in the coming to the Father through him. What titration, what scratch test, what malleable property can we put on that? How can we demonstrate that through a law of non-contradictions? Unless if Jesus said, you can go anywhere you want, just not through me. That would be a contradiction in terms. But no, we have to trust that Jesus is the way, that he will be faithful, that he will be trustworthy in that demonstration of his power, and he's evidenced us that by his resurrection and everything that's happened from there. Well, moreover, faith is more than an assent of the mind to beliefs. It is a response of the will to God. And this is something that reason cannot produce. Right.
And so the classical apologist says faith is more than just this rational kind of belief. There's a volitional aspect of it, a response of the will to God. And so when we say that, well, the classical apologist is saying that, it's only this rational thing. No, it's more than that. And they understand that it's more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, if you look at people who mapped the human genome, you had people that from those groups that went from completely atheist to at least theistic, and saying, listen, all I did was put A, B's, and C's and a few E's in this lineup, and all of a sudden I have a belief system here that is unattainable by me anymore. That's of no designer. And so I see design in this. Now, did that person sit down and, write out their premise and conclusion? Well, no, it seems to be an experiential form of the work that they produced in order to get them to that belief. And you do have Christians who have come out of that as well. But I'm talking just in particular here of a single person.
Yeah, good.